Hello, my name is Nakani, and I am the reason so many people go missing in Alaska. We are the creatures of legend, the beings that haunt the dark corners of the vast, untamed wilderness of Southeast Alaska. 1 out of every 200 people mysteriously disappear, and almost every local fisherman has a story of an encounter with us. The Tlingit people have been telling our story for generations. We are shapeshifters with an evil purpose to trap our victims' souls and prevent them from reincarnating. We do this in many ways. In some cases, we find lost travelers and offer them help, only to lead them deeper into the woods to tear them apart. Other times, we hide in groups to lure victims away from safety and into deep waters. At night, we imitate crying babies, knowing that humans, driven by their compassion, will come to the rescue. But once they get close, we drag them underneath the water and turn them into one of us. And this is the reason why. For centuries, we have existed in the shadows, feeding off the fear and despair of those who wander into our domain. Our origins are lost in the mists of time, but we know that we were once like them, human. But we were cursed, transformed into these malevolent beings by a power that is older than the world itself. We were punished for our greed, our cruelty, our insatiable hunger for power. Now we are bound to these lands, condemned to hunt and to consume, to trap the souls of the unwary and add them to our ranks. I remember the first time I claimed a soul. It was a young man, a trapper who had ventured too far into the wilderness. He was lost, cold, and desperate. I appeared to him as a fellow traveler, offering warmth and guidance. He followed me without hesitation, grateful for the companionship. But as we walked deeper into the forest, his unease grew. The trees seemed to close in around us, the darkness pressing in from all sides. He began to sense that something was wrong, but it was too late. I revealed my true form, and his scream echoed through the night as I tore him apart. His soul was mine, and I felt a surge of power as I consumed it. He became one of us, another shadow in the night, another predator in the darkness. His transformation was swift, and he took to the hunt with a ferocity that matched my own. Together we claimed more souls, adding to our numbers and strengthening our hold over the land. The humans fear us, and rightly so. They tell stories to their children, warning them to stay away from the woods, to never wander alone at night. But still they come. They are drawn to the mystery, the beauty, the danger. They cannot help themselves, and we are always waiting. I have taken many forms over the years. Sometimes I am a beautiful woman, luring men to their doom with promises of love and comfort. Other times I am a lost child, crying for help, knowing that some kind soul will come to my aid. Once I took the form of an elder, wise and knowledgeable, leading a group of explorers into a trap from which they never escaped. Each form has its purpose, its use, its method of ensnaring the unwary. The waters of Southeast Alaska are particularly treacherous. The tides are strong, the currents swift, and the depths hide many secrets. It is here that we are most powerful, able to drag our victims beneath the surface with ease. I remember the time I imitated the cries of a drowning child, my voice echoing across the still, moonlit waters. A group of fishermen, their hearts filled with compassion, rowed their boat toward the sound. They called out, their voices filled with concern and urgency. As they drew near, their lanterns cast flickering light upon my form, revealing the truth too late. Their screams were muffled as the waters closed over their heads, and their struggles only hastened their transformation into one of us. The souls we claim are not merely taken, they are consumed, twisted, and reshaped into new Nakani. Each new member retains fragments of their former lives, their memories and fears becoming part of our collective consciousness. This shared knowledge makes us stronger, more cunning, and more adept at luring new prey. One particularly cold winter, a group of hikers ventured deep into our territory, seeking adventure and the thrill of the unknown. They were ill-prepared for the harshness of the Alaskan wilderness, and soon found themselves lost and desperate. I took the form of a rugged mountain guide, my appearance roughened by years of exposure to the elements. I offered them warmth, food, and the promise of a way out. Grateful and unsuspecting, they followed me deeper into the mountains. As the days passed, their trust in me grew. I led them through treacherous passes and across frozen rivers, always promising that safety was just ahead. But each night, as they huddled around the fire, I could see the doubt and fear growing in their eyes. They began to whisper among themselves, questioning my intentions. By the time they realized the truth, it was far too late. One by one, I picked them off, leading them into isolated traps where the others could not hear their screams. Their souls were added to our ranks, their bodies left to the elements. The last of the group, a woman with a fierce will to survive, fought valiantly. She almost escaped, but the snow-covered landscape provided no refuge. I finally cornered her, and as I revealed my true form, her eyes widened with a mixture of horror and understanding. She knew what was to come, and her final scream was one of defiance rather than fear. Over the centuries, many have tried to stop us. Shamans and hunters, armed with ancient knowledge and weapons crafted to combat our kind, have ventured into the hollow. Some were skilled and brave, and a few even managed to wound us. But none have succeeded in ending our reign. We are too many, too powerful, and too deeply intertwined with the land itself. I remember a particularly determined shaman who came close to breaking our curse. He had spent years studying our legends, gathering artifacts, and honing his abilities. When he finally confronted us, he wielded a blade forged from sacred metals and chanted incantations that made the very air around him crackle with energy. His attack was relentless, and for a moment, it seemed as though he might succeed. But in the end, his efforts were in vain. He underestimated the extent of our power, the depth of our connection to the forest. As his strength waned, we overwhelmed him, our numbers proving too great. His soul, despite his purity and strength, was no match for our collective malevolence. He became one of us, his knowledge and abilities absorbed into our being, making us even more formidable. The humans continue to tell our stories, passing them down through generations. They light candles and say prayers, hoping to keep us at bay. They carve talismans and draw protective symbols, believing they can ward off our influence. But these gestures are futile. We are the darkness in their midst, the nightmare that never truly ends. Each new generation brings fresh prey, more souls to be claimed. The land remains wild and untamed, and we, the Nakani, remain its silent, relentless predators. The wilderness of Southeast Alaska is vast, and our territory is ever expanding. The missing and the lost will always find their way to us, and we will always be waiting. As the years pass, our legend grows. More people vanish, more tales are told, and the fear of the Nakani becomes a part of the very fabric of this land. We thrive on that fear, drawing strength from the terror we inspire. The cycle continues, unbroken and eternal. Hello, my name is Nakani, and this is my story. The wilderness of Southeast Alaska is our hunting ground, and the souls of the lost are our sustenance. We are the reason they disappear, the shadow in the forest, the whisper in the dark. And we will never stop. The fear we inspire continues to grow, and the legends surrounding us become more elaborate with each telling. Yet, despite the warnings and the tales of those who never returned, people still venture into our territory. The allure of the unknown, the beauty of the untamed wilderness, and the thrill of adventure prove too strong to resist. They come, and we are always ready. Our story. One day, a small group of researchers arrives, equipped with advanced technology and a determination to uncover the truth behind the disappearances. They have heard the stories, read the accounts, and decided to face the supposed myths head-on. They are confident, almost arrogant, in their belief that science and reason will protect them. Their leader, Dr. Emily Harris, is a renowned anthropologist with a reputation for debunking legends and exposing the truths behind ancient myths. She believes that the stories of the Nakani are just that, stories. Her team includes experts in various fields, all eager to make a name for themselves by solving the mystery of the missing. From the moment they enter the forest, we watch them. Their movements are careful, their steps deliberate. They set up camp near the edge of the lake, unaware that they are already within our grasp. As they explore, documenting their findings and collecting samples, we begin our work. At first, we play with their senses, creating subtle disturbances that they attribute to the natural environment. A distant cry here, a shadow there, enough to unsettle them, but not enough to cause alarm. As the days pass, we escalate our efforts. Their equipment malfunctions, their supplies disappear, and the forest seems to close in around them. Doctor, Harris remains steadfast, dismissing the growing unease of her team. She insists on pressing forward, convinced that they are on the verge of a groundbreaking discovery. Her determination blinds her to the danger, and she fails to notice the signs that something is terribly wrong. One night, as the team gathers around the campfire, we strike. I take the form of a missing colleague, a young woman who vanished months ago while on a similar expedition. My appearance is flawless, my demeanor desperate and fearful. I stumble into their camp, crying for help, claiming to have escaped from an unseen terror. The researchers are stunned, their relief mixed with confusion. Doctor. Harris is the first to approach me, her professional curiosity overcoming her caution. As she reaches out, I let my human guise slip, just enough for her to catch a glimpse of my true form. Her eyes widen in horror, but before she can react, I lunge at her, my claws tearing through flesh. Panic erupts in the camp. The researchers scatter, their cries echoing through the forest. One by one, we pick them off, each Nakani taking a victim. The forest is alive with the sounds of the hunt, the thrill of the chase coursing through our veins. Doctor. Harris fights back, her determination unbroken even in the face of certain death. She manages to wound me, her knife finding its mark, but the injury only serves to enrage me further. I retaliate with a ferocity that leaves her broken and bleeding on the forest floor. As the last of her team falls, their souls joining our ranks, I stand over Dr. Harris, watching as the life drains from her eyes. She whispers a final curse, a vow that her death will not be in vain, that others will come to avenge her. I smile, knowing that her words will only serve to lure more prey into our domain. Her soul is mine, and as I consume it, I feel a surge of power, her knowledge and strength becoming part of me. Her determination, her intelligence, all are now tools I can use to ensnare future victims. The forest returns to its eerie silence, the bodies of the researchers hidden away, their disappearance another unsolved mystery to add to the legend of the Nakani. We retreat into the shadows, our hunger sated for now, but always ready for the next unwary soul who ventures into our territory. Time passes, and the tales of the missing researchers spread far and wide. They become part of the lore, their names added to the list of those who vanished without a trace. Yet, despite the warnings, more people come. They are drawn by the allure of the unknown, the beauty of the wilderness, and the thrill of adventure, and we are always here, waiting. Hello, my name is Nakani, and this is our story. The wilderness of Southeast Alaska is our hunting ground, and the souls of the lost are our sustenance. We are the reason they disappear, the shadow in the forest, the whisper in the dark, and we will never stop.